Put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
What the hell's going on out here?
Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast, or a podcast that spun off from the web series The Two Dicks 1950s Detectives that are politically incorrect. But we embrace it. And hey, what the hell? I'm Al Ducharme, and that is Al Romas with his morning coffee. It looks like a cruise ship coffee cup, whereas I'm in uniform with my two dicks on the air, Talking Dicks coffee mug. Al, what's going on?
You'd be correct in that old seaman breath. This is a coffee mug from the Wonder of the Seas. And yeah, we're sitting in Coco Cay. This is a 2-day cruise, man. People got on yesterday, and they pack it up tonight and go home tomorrow. So it's a little media cruise. The ship's going to be named tomorrow, even though it's been out for a while. But yeah, it's cool for these people, man. These people, like, they sit in a cubicle all day selling shit, selling cruises, selling, and now they get on. They get to have 48 hours, free liquor, free Wi-Fi, free parking. Just fucking go at it, have fun, and then promote the hell out of the ship.
And how many are there on board right now? Not including crew.
Six people. Yeah.
6 people. All right. So you're doing the pole dancing act that you used to do back in the 80s.
I still do it. I never stopped.
Oh,
I never stopped. No.
Dick and Dale, is that what it's called?
It was Dick and Dale. That's a good memory. Yes, Dick and Dale.
Are you still working with Dale?
No, Dale died years ago. I don't think I told you.
Oh,
Dale.
wow.
Oh yeah, he was on the pole at the time. It was.
Wait a minute. I could have been filling in for him.
I mean, I don't want to be mean,
You are so greedy.
You're
You cut me out of the.
You're not pulling material.
You cut me out.
I try to be nice and not never mention it to you, but I don't see you that way. I'm gonna be honest.
Wow, you really are, Dick.
Hey, two dicks. Talking dicks. Good night.
So what's happening in the world? We have some headlines. Let's get some headlines. What's happening in Russia, Al?
Well, today, December 8th, we're recording on, looks like Brittany Griner, the 7-foot whatever basketball player for the WNBA, is released from a penal colony in Russia, and we're trading a guy known as the Merchant of Death for Brittany Griner. So I don't know. That's above my pay grade. I'm sure they know what they're doing in Washington, but I don't know if the Merchant of Death should be freed. That's all I'm saying.
Just saying.
I understand she can.
Well, he's going to be. He's going to Russia.
Good.
Yes, he's going to Russia. Is he really free? Let's be honest.
Putin's going to put him right back. Yeah, he'll be right back at work tomorrow morning, 9 a.m.
He's going to send him to the Ukraine and take out the president of the Ukraine. That's what he's going to do.
Goddamn right he is. But we're going to get, well, at least we got Brittany back, and she can go back to playing basketball in front of 9 lesbians
and
in a
smoking
gym.
Pot.
Yeah. So it's quite a trade. And we have a U.S. Marine sitting in a penal colony in Russia still. But why would we want him out? Let's leave him there and bring home Brittany Griner.
Well, because they got... Well, you can draw the conclusion that if they say that they're spies, and you have your former military and you're in Russia, it's not hard to get there. But who knows? Maybe he was a businessman now. I don't know the deets on him at all. But
I don't have the deets. We need a producer to pull it up for us as we speak, and then we could find out what's happening. You know what I mean? But since we're on our own here and
but we're not multitaskers.
No, we're Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast. We're fucking begging people to be on our Patreon for $5 a month. They could help us out. $5 a month. Maybe then we get a producer and he could tell us how long Paul Whelan's been in jail and for what. These are the questions we have. But anyway, that's what's happening with that. And it's good she's home. Whatever.
It is,
I guess. I mean, it's good. Yes. She shouldn't have been there. I mean, she
shouldn't have brought marijuana oils and whatnot.
100%. Vaping. Yes. And she knew, because I read in the summer she played in the Russian basketball league. So she knows the drill there. Maybe
absolutely.
She'd been in and out a million times with the weed and got caught this time. But still, it's a little weird.
It's a little bit of a God complex, too, when people do that shit. Yes. Well, can you have it planted on you? Can you? Yes, but we know that she brought it. acquired it while there.
I just, in my head, you just go to Whalen, this guy Whalen. I mean, imagine him. Imagine you're that guy, and in the news, they're giving you shit in the penal colony today. Hey, that basketball player is flying home today. By the way, she's out. You're here. Start digging holes. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? He's been there. I don't know how long he's been there, but he's been there well past, her time there. And now she's back home. But
well, we have Russian operatives that are imprisoned as well.
I don't know about that. I don't know if that's a fact or not. I don't spread rumors on the Talking Dicks comedy podcast.
You're right. I'm going to say this. We probably have Russian
with
operatives.
Trump. Do it, Trump. I've heard we have operatives.
I don't know if it's true, but that's what they're saying.
Everyone's saying it.
Everybody's saying it. I'm not denying it. I'm just saying it could be possibility. Mm-hmm. I'm a horrible Trump impression.
I don't know who that was. I let you do it. I don't know what that was.
You encouraged it. You said, watch him just die.
You moved your hands a little bit. If you're on the Patreon, you saw Al move his hands a little bit. But yeah, that was great. So anyway, that's it. Brittany Griner coming home. And today, 42 years ago today. Can you imagine that? 42 years ago. Where were you on that fateful day? John Lennon, we're talking about young people here.
I was 6 years old.
42 years ago, I was saying, okay, I'll let you go with it.
I'm in show business, baby. Is that John Joseph?
Yeah, show business, baby. I don't know if he has a list, but all right. I don't know what
he's never been out of show business.
Mm-hmm.
I think he started show business.
He's one of the founders of the biz. Yeah.
He looks great. 84 years old. He looks great.
It doesn't look bad, but John Joseph, if you don't know, folks, you can Google him or look him on Facebook. He wears, I think it's smart. I don't have an outfit. I think that's smart.
Yep.
He wears a dungaree shirt, jeans, and a dungaree jacket. And a Yankee ball cap.
Yeah, ball cap.
That's
off stage.
Off stage, but that's
on stage. He wears black pants, black shirt or t-shirt, and a black blazer, and he plays the guitar.
It's smart.
He's got like carry-on luggage.
It's smart.
He does 2 shows.
Mm-hmm.
He does the same show, same night, 2 shows, and he's off. He's off the ship.
It's smart, man. I'm packing like a broad. I'm like, I don't know. Does this shirt go with these pants? It's so stupid. I'm like,
plus all those dildos.
Black shirt.
You don't have to take 12 dildos with you. You could just take the 1 or 2.
I'm here for 11 days.
All right, one for a day.
I like a fresh.
And a backup, just in case someone shows up.
Well, you always have an emergency dildo. A backup. Hey, now. Hello. Freshness in my dildos has always been important to me. But wouldn't that be a good way to travel? I mean, why don't we do that? What the fuck? I say it every year, and I'm like, I don't do it. I should have, 5 black T-shirts, 2 pairs of pants, and wear an outfit that I travel in, and you're done. No worries.
Right. But for the most part, I think John Joseph, prior to the pandemic, he was only going on ships for 3 and 4 days for the most part. And he'd go to another ship. He does have to do the full week now because they really haven't stopped that yet. So you got to pack. I mean, I'm going out 2 and 3 weeks at a time. I got to pack, man. I need my.
You pack like a lady. I mean, I helped you with your luggage. You got 5 pieces of luggage. They're all matched. It's weird, man.
I
don't know what's going on.
I have a toy poodle and a Yorkie.
And don't you have a lot of liquids? You travel. We covered this on a pod.
I have
various liquids.
I have products. I got hair products. I try to dye my beard.
Yeah, it's not working.
I burned my face.
That thing needs to come down.
Problems.
That thing needs to come down though. That thing, it's over. It's over. I'm sure I'm not the first to tell you that.
Well, people are saying it online now.
Go.
It's all dudes though. The chicks like it and the dudes hate it. I've been called the what do you call it? The Unabomber.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got some Kaczynski going on.
I got some Kaczynski. Yeah, I look like I'm in a cabin right now.
What's his name?
I'm dressed. Kaczynski.
What's his name?
Kaczynski.
I'm sorry. What?
Is it Kaczynski?
Very good. Yes.
Is it? What's his
Yes.
first name?
Come on, dude. Ted.
Teddy.
Ted
Talk.
Kaczynski. Yes, he had a TED talk. All right. You got a TED
He had a
talk from
TED manifest.
Kaczynski.
Are you doing the
You're
TED
missing.
manifest?
You're missing a few digits if you ever got a TED talk in person. That was a wild scene. Anyone not following what we're talking about? That's the Unabomber. And if you have the Patreon, you see Alfredo is going for that look. And he's back to the no heat in the Alfred house. I think they keep the temp around a nice 28 degrees because he's always got a hat on and some sort of an extra jacket or shirt. What's going on there, Al? I mean, do you turn the heat on? Do you need heat?
Well,
you need a few bucks, Patreon bucks, to pay the
my office
the
is
bill.
my office is a loft, so when we put the heat on, it gets to be too hot up here when I do the podcast. So
I think you're cheap and you don't turn the heat on.
Well, there's that. There's that.
I think that's what Bernie, put a hat on, for God's sake. You're not cold.
I just like to see her nipples. That's all.
Hey now. What is going on? We haven't heard from her yet. Is she home? I usually hear a little piping in from Bernie, or a cough or a sneeze, anything.
I believe she's still
home?
in the dwelling, but I don't know what she might be downstairs.
Very good, sir. So my question, I have a question, since we don't have a question this ep. Where were you 42 years ago today? John Lennon is assassinated December 8th in the evening, coming home from the Hit Factory. He is assassinated, which is a rock star. He's fucking assassinated. Where were you?
I was a teenager, and I had moved my bedroom from across the hall from my parents' house to the basement, and I had the half of the basement because it was finished, and to have some freedom so I could sneak in and out of the house. And I had a brand new Panasonic Super Bass stereo radio, and it almost looked like a ham radio, shortwave, and I could get all these different bands on it. And in the morning, I would put it on like a half hour before I'd get out of bed and listen to music. And then it said, we interrupt this program to bring you this special report. And they announced I was like, whoa, holy shit.
Yeah.
And, I went
so
to
you
school.
Didn't know that was the initial was the morning.
Yeah. He was 40 years old. He was assassinated. And I went to school, and someone had one of the artists from art class had drew a picture of John Lennon and put a big poster on one of the doors when he went into school. It was quite a bizarre time.
It was like nothing we ever. I mean, it was like if we were 20 years older, Kennedy. Right? That's the only thing you can match it with. It kind of becomes a where were you? It affected. I mean, it changed my life. It just fucking pulled the rug out. I'm like, and it when people say that, like, that ended your innocence or however that expression goes, but we're 19 years old, 18, 19 years old, and this guy's killed. What? It just fucked. Everything was different after that. And it's hard to believe that he's been dead longer than he was alive. 42 years ago, this happened. He only was 40 at the time. Yeah, it's amazing. And but and it was Cosell announced it on Monday Night Football. So neither of us, I guess, were watching the game, because he around 11 o'clock he came on and he broke the news to the nation. There's no internet, there's nothing. It was Monday Night Football. Howard Cosell breaking the news that John Lennon's dead. And he had been on. I don't know if you ever saw anyone YouTube it. Lennon was on Monday Night Football in like 75.
Oh wow, I have to look that up.
Yeah, he goes in the booth, and he's in the booth with Cosell and Frank Gifford, and they're talking to him about American
all
football.
Three dead.
And all three dead. Yeah. And so, well, I don't want to bring us down here, but I was telling Kelly the other day, I go, this next 5 years, it's going to just be awful. We're going to lose every icon we grew up and loved. They'll all be gone, which is fucking shocking.
So get the Elton John tickets, folks.
Eat that sandwich, enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like
spend that $1,500.
Go to
if you can
Disney
get 'em.
World. Fucking blow that money. What the hell? Have fun.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's you just
Absolutely.
don't know anymore, man. But that's 42 years ago. I can't believe it. I was listening to the radio and I just missed it because it was Jim Morrison's birthday of the Doors, December 8th.
Wow.
Yeah, so
27 years old, died in Paris.
Yes, sir. And I was going to bed and I thought, oh, I'll listen to a little WPLJ in New York City. And they were playing Doors music. And that's when I learned, they go, oh, it's Jim Morrison's birthday. We're playing Doors all night. Turned off the radio about 11 o'clock. Had I stayed another minute or two, I would have heard Len's dead, been up all night, all that shit. So instead, I woke up in the morning and it was snowing, brief little snow. And my father pulled in the daily news it was on the step. And he was like, oh my God, what? And I go, what's that? And it just says John Lennon dead. You know, I was like, what? It didn't make any sense. It's like same thing when I saw Thurman Munson died, the catcher for the
plane
Yankees.
Crash. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, doesn't make any, what do you mean dead? Guy's, 35 years old. It's not dead. But yeah, so 42 years ago today, hard to believe. But
back to the Jim Morrison thing. He actually, wasn't it ruled a drowning because he drowned in the tub, or was it an OD? He pulled a Whitney Houston before Whitney.
Oh yeah, Jim was he was a trendsetter. Heart attack in a bathtub at 27. You're doing some serious boozing when you're having a heart attack at 27.
Yeah,
but the booze was his real thing, and a lot of that was because of that image of the Lizard King and being a hot sex symbol. He didn't want that. He wanted to be a poet. He didn't want to be a rock star.
Right.
So that's why on L.A. Woman, he's fat. He's got a beard. He's like, fuck the sex symbol shit. I don't want it. He's only 27.
Yep.
You would have thought he'd be embracing that.
He did look 47 though towards the end there.
Oh hell yeah. Hell yeah. But it just shows you, man, if you drink bottles of booze, you will pack on that weight, age the hell out of you, and then you'll die at 27.
What was that movie with Nicolas Cage? Was it Leaving Las Vegas, where he was going to Las Vegas to kill himself by alcohol poisoning?
Yes.
And ended up getting the prostitute.
Yes.
Elizabeth Shue, I think, was the actress.
Correct.
That was some heavy duty stuff.
Heavy duty. I had read the book a couple of years before the movie was made, and it's a true story. And the book is great, Leaving Las Vegas, because it's written like a journal. The guy who wrote the book is Nicolas Cage's character. He went and he dies, and then his family found the manuscript, but he writes it as a journal. I met this girl today, and she's a prostitute, but we're going to live together, and she's going to let me drink, and I'm going to let her fuck, and this is all great. And it's wild, and it's sad as hell, because you're reading a guy who's dying, who wants to die. That's all he wants.
That's kind of what's happening over here.
What's that?
Me and Bernie, same situation.
Are you drinking yourself to death slowly?
Well, no, I'm taking the long route because I'm enjoying it. But
she's just going to grow a beard until she leaves.
She's definitely picking up some Johns, but the extra side hustle cash flow is kind of neat.
Does it affect you? You're doing a podcast.
No.
She's making a few bucks. That's nice.
No, she keeps buying me nice clothes.
You're a team. You're working as a team. That's important. You know what I mean? And it's good. You don't let it.
Is that our clip? Is this our clip?
Yeah, that's our clip.
Try to lure people in.
We lure people in with Al's wife as a prostitute. That's how we lure them in here.
Oh boy. Hey, Paulie, we just called you a prostitute.
I heard you.
She goes, I heard you. Unfazed by all the
I like
ridiculousness.
That's how you got to be. Hey, I'm out here 11 days. I come home and it's Christmas. Can you believe that? Freaking Christmas.
I think for your girlfriend, it's Christmas when you leave.
That's mean.
That was mean.
What's that about?
No, I don't know. We just called my wife a prostitute. You're like, that's okay.
That's your wife that's your beautiful wife of 25 years. This is my girlfriend of a year.
Yeah,
How dare
that's
you?
true. I know.
We haven't
Kelly
even had
knows.
Christmas. We
Kelly
haven't even had
knows my
Christmas together.
humor.
She's not a fan. I got to be honest. She says, "Why
Now
can't you
that's
find someone
mean.
else? You
That's
can't find
mean.
someone else to do that fucking podcast with." That guy with that shitty beard. I go, well, he's good. Though.
He's the right price.
He does edit. He does a hell of a
He's the right
job
price.
editing.
I buy him a steak dinner once a year. Boom.
Once a year. That dinner's covering the next 5 years.
Oh, we keep talking about it.
Yeah, but you keep bringing it up.
Moron bought the best steak you can get in the country. They bring the cow to your table, and this
did
is
you
moo.
not like it? Did
This
you not
is
like
moo.
it? Mm-hmm.
What?
Did you didn't care for it?
It was the best steak I've ever had in my life.
Well, you just called me a moron for ordering it. I'm just saying it was fucking delicious.
I don't mean it. It's like a term of endearment, a word of endearment.
Yes, Chateaubriand. Oh man, melt in your goddamn mouth, and
that's the center cut. And of the fillet. What do you call that? It's the whole
loin.
The loin that goes around the spinal column or next to it, right? Is that what it is? I don't know, man. I just know it was fucking licious, and the guy doesn't tell you the price, which is always scary, folks. If you ever all the prices are on the menu.
Scary, but
it doesn't even say market
price.
price.
Give you market price.
They're like, and he goes, I can't. I go. You go, how much is that? And you went, I can't quote you.
Yeah, I don't quote prices. Well, who does? Because I'd like to know what
you see, sir. People that order the Chateaubriand order it. If you can't afford it, don't order it.
It's the old if you're buying a Mercedes, right? You go, how much is it? Well, if you have to ask,
yeah,
you probably shouldn't be. You shouldn't be here, and that's their feeling. I guess at Charlie's, because I was just kind of questioning and wondering, what are we looking at here? I don't quote prices. Okay, do it. Let's have it. God damn it. And
I put it at $1.25.
I put it more. I put it higher.
All right.
Because
$150?
Well, it was 4 entrees, but Kelly had like cauliflower and a crab cake. I mean, she really didn't eat much.
$38 for one order of crab cake on a slab, and you bought 2 of them. No, I'm sorry, $34. It was $68 just for the appetizer. They
were good, though. Were they good?
They were on the plank. Crab cake on the plank was pretty tasty, I'll tell you that much. Chocolate martinis, espresso martinis.
We did 2 half bottles of wine, which looking back would have been better off, a bottle, I guess.
Well, it was $80.
$80 for not for 2.
60 for the prisoner and 21 for the what do you call it? The Spanish wine.
Yeah, the Rioja.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rioja.
It's one of those when you do them in your head, you're like, well, okay, it's 4 people, it's not that much. How the fuck did it come out to like $600? Like, you know what I mean? Like that. This seems like but it did.
Well, we don't quote prices, sir.
No, we don't. So that thing could have been $300. I really don't.
No.
I don't know.
We had 3 espresso martinis.
Right. Those are probably 18 a piece.
Olivia had a couple of something.
And she was bombing drinks back. She's got a problem. I don't want her mother if she's listening, but she does have a problem. Kelly had
a couple of wines.
Yeah, 2 glasses of. I think you bought one at the bar. She brought it over to the table.
Oh,
and she might have had one more after that, and then she did not have an espresso. So
she was the cheapest one at the table.
Now, what are you saying?
Wait, hold on.
Now you're calling her cheap.
Her meal was the least expensive. Sorry,
she used
Kelly.
to like you before this one. She was.
I meant she was a cheap date, which is a compliment.
I know what you're
from.
Yeah, of course. But still, when you think of even if you go 150, it doesn't. 600 seems a little outlandish.
I think that you didn't see the breakdown because we don't.
They don't do that. They don't give you quotes and breakdowns.
He just gave you the full amount, and I don't know what was happening there. I had to go back to the menu and look stuff up. I think you put in a tip after that, and I think the tip was already included. Plus, they had some sort of service charge that a lot of restaurants are doing now.
Yeah.
In Los Angeles, it's called service charge, and then there's another one. It says health insurance in
Health
LA
insurance.
County. LA County, a lot of restaurants are allowed to put this goes towards the health insurance of our employees.
But the health insurance of your guest for that food you just served me. You know what I mean?
Which I think is outrageous to do.
That's unbelievable. But all this shit is out of control. I had my oil changed the other day, and the guy, $44, whatever, I brings the machine over to the window, and the first thing is tip. I'm
What?
Well, what am I paying for? I'm paying for an oil change. Why I have to? Who am I tipping? There's 4 people under the car working. What am I doing? So it's like tip, and they know it's shitty because the next day I got an email with a survey, and the second I look at it because I wanted to put in about the tip thing, and the second question is, were you offended in any way by being asked to tip?
And you said yes.
I said, hell yeah. Then I wrote in the thing, I go, what are we tipping? This is it's crazy. No one tips at an oil change.
What about when you're getting the food yourself and they're just ringing it up and they have tip? And you got to actually, you got to go to the next window to say no tip. It says 15, 20, 25%. And even if you want to leave 10%, you got to go to the next window. And it takes that extra beat where people are like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
They guilt you into it.
They turn the iPad to you, and it's like, oh, you don't have to. Sometimes they even say, they go, you don't have to tip. Like they know it's weird, but you're like, what the fuck is this? Why can't we just have the bill? The bill is
Dunkin' Donuts. They have a tip jar. Someone wrote with pen or a marker, tip.
A tip jar doesn't offend me, at least, but being asked to do it on top of, you just told me it's the price, and now I got to do this for what? What are we doing? You changed my oil. That was never a tip job. That was you got paid by the hour, and you
get an hourly rate, and you probably have health insurance.
Yeah,
and the question is, do a lot of these places give all of the tip or any of the tip to the employees, or are they keeping it for the company? That's because I've heard stories like, we never got anything.
Well, let's just be honest. What do you think? I mean, honestly, what do you think?
I think a lot of these places take a vig. Mm-hmm. So if there's a 15% tip, I think the place is taking 5% of it.
Yeah.
And they're going to say, that's because of the processing fee to pay you guys out, to give you your tips. We have to pay for that transaction. You fucking lying piece of shit.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I think some people do before that kind of thing. You know, there are generous people. I think there are people who, like, if the oil change took 6 minutes, they'll be like, throw the guy $10, $20.
Tipped.
Like, hey, go.
I've tipped before, but I want to be able to do it.
Right. I don't like being guilted into, or even all these things. Like, I go to Publix to buy some groceries, and it's like, you want to give $5 for the special needs kid of the month for Christmas? It's like, where does this fucking end? You know, you don't want to be that shitty guy, but then again, then I want to walk outside. Then it's Salvation Army. Then it's the oil change guy. What's going on with the tips?
I have a question.
Well, tip me.
I have a question,
sir.
Do you think you tip more when money is tight, or do you tip more when you're having a good year?
Money is tight.
Isn't that funny? The psychology of that. Is that karma to bring it around?
Yes.
So it is kind of selfish at the same time.
COVID woke me up to the fact that I could be, poor and homeless at any moment. So I felt more generous in the idea of, and I was keeping like some money in my car. So if I saw a homeless guy under a bridge, I'd throw a few bucks at him because I don't know his story.
Sure.
He might have been a guy with a house and a family and something happened. Now he's there. Doesn't mean he's just a drug addict, which he probably is, but doesn't mean he is.
No, I'm seeing more people. There's a lot of mental illness, obviously, but there's druggies, alcoholics, and mental illness. But then there were families that were just become homeless, articulate and apologetic. Oh, excuse me, sir. Sorry to bother you. We'll move it out of the way. And I'm like, what, this whole family.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's like with the tipping, that's like everything. The richer that you are, they always say it was the worst tipper, and the best tipper is somebody in the food service industry. Like you go out, like a bunch of waitresses go out for the night, or bartenders. They go out, they tip. Like, you ever hang out with, from the staff of a club?
Well, Bernie used
they go nuts with the tipping. They're over the top, though.
Yeah. When she was in college, and as a young adult. She did a lot of waitressing jobs, so she does. But I hate it when I'm paying for it. And she wants to tip heavy.
Yeah.
Do they need 25%? Because I'm paying for it.
I'd love to see you break out 25%. That must. I want to see that meltdown. I want to see that meltdown.
Now, here's another thing I get picky with. I'm one of the people that tips on the subtotal. I don't tip on top of the tax because I feel like I'm getting nailed twice with the tax. That's me. A lot of people do it just because it's easy.
Oh, you tip on the subtotal. I see.
Because a lot of times when they give you the examples of the tipping, they'll say 15, 18, 20%. Those totals are based on the subtotal, not the full amount.
Yeah, well, that was the thing with Charlie's. I think I tipped 20%, but that was on top of the total.
You're a dummy.
And I think with a table of 4 and we were over a certain amount of money, he already got tipped.
Yeah.
I tipped on that, but then again, I was not really seeing clearly after a couple drinks and martini at the end. So I wasn't reading it that clear. I'm
thank goodness you pulled your pants up in time before the waiter came back to the table.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what it means either. You were so hammered, dude. You were falling over.
Oh.
You're going to the bar. You were kissing everyone, guys, girls. You were buying drinks for everybody. You jumped over the bar at one time and started making drinks. And I'll tell you what, you make one hell of an old fashioned. So.
Thank you. So what? Yeah, I mean, I try to spread the wealth, the love.
I'm not
it's
complaining.
Holiday season. It's a holidays.
I was admiring
It's the holidays. Hey, speaking of holidays, you working? Doing a holiday? You're gonna be home for Christmas?
I'm gonna be home for Christmas.
Spewing jokes? No. Oh, home. Nice.
Usually I'm
be home
working a cruise ship or
Christmas.
A comedy club somewhere right around the holidays, private parties, unemployed and staying in Los Angeles County for the first time in many, many years. Usually we go back. Usually we go back home and visit all the little ones and whatnot, and we're not doing it.
It'll be just like home.
Little guilt because we have godchildren now.
Your house is cold. You can wear your hats and your coats, and
my dandruff will simulate, snow-capped mountains. So,
yeah, nice. That sounds pretty. That's like a Charles Dickens story. You know what I mean? And how old are these godchildren though? They're very young. They're not going to know that Uncle Al isn't here, right?
Right. And
35 years old.
We just spent 2 of the holidays, and we also are renting a vacation home in May.
And are their parents the proprietors of our sponsor, Hanley Watches?
Hanley Watches, made for all occasions. If you want to have a good time, you got to have a Hanley watch. HanleyWatches.com.
Still waiting, Hanley. Still waiting. Look at the mailbox every day for my Hanley watch. Wow, I could wear and
I have one,
but whatever.
I have one. I got one. I got mine.
Okay. Well, I would think you would. Yeah. Okay. So you're home Christmas Day, New Year's Eve. What about the New Year's Eve? That's a big night for comedy, folks. It's one of the worst gigs you can get because the crowd sucks generally, but you do get a few extra dollars, and I don't know. I always feel like a comedian working. You know what I mean? Like if I'm off on New Year's, which I do enjoy being off, of course, but I feel like a comedian when I work New Year's Eve. I don't know why that is. You know what I mean? Like in the old days, you go in the kitchen, you kiss a waitress, you're single, and New Year's Eve, you get double money. Don't you? Do you feel that at all, Al? Or are you like, nah?
Well, I mean, I've experienced different things like that, I guess. Back in the New York days, you could run around and do 4 or 5 shows in a night, and you'd get like double the pay or 2.5 times the pay what you would normally get. So you could actually run around.
It's a good night. Good night, yeah.
And make, usually it was all like a big lump of cash. Most of the bartenders paid you right out of the register. And so it was a good night money-wise. And then hopefully you were not anywhere near the stage at 11:45, 11:50.
Right.
But I've been on stage at midnight. They're like, we're going to have the comedian do 15 minutes and then do... No. And they put the noisemakers on everybody's table. And so during your act...
Any club that's still doing that is fucked. I mean, you got to
Idiot.
learn. We went through it. We learned how to
Hold
do this
on.
correctly.
Peanut
Here
Gallery.
we go.
Here we go. Yeah, yes,
Here
Peanut
we go.
Gallery.
Back in the day, it was so much better, and this is how it used to be.
What's happening?
Back
What's
in the
going
day,
on?
you could run around and make all this money.
We're
and
yelling at
you did really
clouds.
well.
Leave us
Now
alone.
it's, you know, kids are different these days in comedy.
All right. Oh my!
So she's mocking us as two old cranky
I get it.
Muppet guys.
I got it. Was very clear what she was doing.
That's the past. It's a window. It's not a
Now we
door.
have two clips to put out
It was.
there.
It was very clear. Oh man!
All right, we're old farts.
We're just talking about New Year's Eve. For God's sake! I'll be at Visani's, Port Charlotte, Florida, December 28th through 31st. Come see me. New Year's Eve. We're doing a show at 5:30 p.m.
Wow!
I don't know.
Wow!
Yeah.
What is it?
And
50,
then
65, 85 plus community?
I think about 85 plus. Yeah. A couple of women and one old guy who can drive. And
he has an organ.
hey now. And then 10:30, I believe, is the second, or 10 o'clock, maybe second show. But they seem to know what they're doing. I'm assuming they do, because we'll be long off the stage by midnight.
I do not question. I've only been there once, and I performed with you, and it's a fine establishment. He runs it like top.
That's true. And we got to have some. We got Deborah Swick and her family. She's bringing her family out. Deb Swick and Tom and Karen, Meehan, I think their last name, but Tom's great. He and Karen, his wife, have been there all the time. Big Two Dick supporters, and they come see me every time. And then we got the boys from the Havana Tranquility coming out, so it's going to be
extravaganza.
Daddy draws on a New Year's Eve, and yeah, it's going to be fun. And then Kelly's family, her sister, brother-in-law, and her cousin, and her husband Doug and Becky. So it's going to be quite a big night.
Did you invite the person with the prosthetic leg that
if I knew
took their leg off and handed it to you?
I sure would.
Time you were there.
If I could only find that one-legged bastard, I'd bring him back.
Sit him right up front center.
Oh, blind as a
just like we rehearsed last
and...
year.
Imagine how bad that would be, trying to recapture a moment. You know what I mean? Like, you ever have the great ad lib on show number one, and then on the second show, you're like, I'm going to do that again, but I'll make it work. Boy, it couldn't die harder. You know, you just go, fuck.
Hindenburg.
It was in the moment, and those things. That's why they call it in the moment. Hey, we did pretty good. Well, football picks last week. I'm looking these over. You had you took the Vikings over the Jets. That's a win.
Mm-hmm.
You barely. Jets almost won that game.
They did.
You took the
Good game.
Commanders. I took the Giants. That was a tie, which we're in the NFL. Ties. Play another quarter. That's so lame. Yeah. And the Saints and the Bucks. You took the Saints and the Buccaneers. Tom Brady did his Tom Brady thing, and 2 touchdowns in the last, I don't know what it was, 2 minutes. I mean,
yeah, there was only 9 seconds left after the touchdown, something like that, or less.
Less, I think.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
3.
It was
Tom Brady.
Crazy.
He pulled a Tom Brady. He's the best 2-minute drill guy. He's the best
ever. Not even close. And I'm watching the game, and I'm reading Twitter, and all the Bucs fans, like, third, fourth quarter beginning, they were like, Brady's washed. Get rid of him. Fuck Brady. Fuck the GOAT. I mean,
all the announcers go, don't count this Tom Brady. Number 12. Do not count him out ever.
These fans of Tampa have turned. They want him out. They're like, let's just draft a quarterback. This is bullshit. And then he wins, and then he wins the game, and then all back to pictures of goats. And we got the GOAT. We got like, you fucking assholes.
I fucking love
fans
Tom
are the
Brady.
worst. They are the worst. But
I love him.
No, the only thing with Brady, and it's so great to have a quarterback like that, where you can look honestly, and if he had better players, forget, but you can honestly say we're not out of this. And it sounds crazy. 2 touchdowns down. 4 minutes, you go, we're not out of it. He's, other than maybe the only guys I've seen who can do anything like that is Montana and Favre back in the day.
Well,
those two guys.
To keep that focus when it's that intense. Also knowing that your opponent has fought so hard to get in that last 5 minutes a game, they're completely wasted. And that's when Tom Brady can sense that and pick out those little vulnerabilities and capitalize on it. He's proven it time and time again. Not every single time, but the majority of the time.
Yes. Yeah. And look at last year in that championship game with the Rams. He came within a play of winning, going to the Super Bowl. People kind of forget that. They're like, they weren't that. They were a play away from the Super Bowl following the year that they won the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a new team. I mean, it's crazy. Even though he's put on the mountain as the GOAT, it's almost like sometimes I feel like he doesn't get enough. He's not getting the respect he deserves. And again, when this is over, we're never going to, it's like the Beatles or whatever these things are. We're never going to see this again.
Well, look how long,
never.
Joe Montana, his reputation for decades as Joe Montana. We're still saying it now, but
yeah,
Brady has kind of taken.
He surpassed him. Yeah. And Montana's the only one I would put right there, Brady, and then you got Joe, because that's a guy too. If you had Joe Montana as your quarterback, you're always in the game.
Yeah,
no worries. And there's not many of those guys. There's just not. And so Brady. I mean, I don't know. He's probably going to play next year. What do you think? 46 or whatever it's going to be. Is he going to play next year?
He claimed,
Well, if you blow up your marriage, you might as well play a few more years.
Yeah, but that marriage had cracks in it.
Did
they were in. Yeah, it's been reported.
Give us the deets. I don't know about it. What do you got?
He said, "Dude, can you just wait until after the Super Bowl to mention anything?" And I said, "Okay."
All right. So
TB.
Yeah. No, I didn't know. So this is good. We got some good inside dirt here.
Can I do a little
more to it?
Can we do a little
just wanting to retire?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I do a little commercial before we continue with our picks?
Of course.
A comedian friend of mine, Todd Parker from back in the Boston days, has written this book called The Billionaire Boogeyman, and it's now available on Amazon, and he's got a bunch of great reviews, and I have my hard copy here, and I'd like to have him on as a guest.
Very good.
And
what's the book about?
I have not read it yet because I just received it, but I'm going to jump on it. It's a novel.
He's not going to read it. He's not going to read it. You're not going to read the book.
Well, now I have to edit this out. Of course I'm going to read it because I want to read it.
You're not going to read Billionaire Boogeyman. Come on.
I'm going to read it.
All right.
It's got big fonts.
Okay.
It's 315 pages. I can swing.
Are there many pictures?
There are many pictures. By the time I'm done with it, because I like to draw in there anyways.
What's that from? There are many pictures.
Oh, I forgot.
Unacceptable. You'll tell me. You'll get it. There are many pictures. We could use that line in a Two Dicks episode. There are many pictures.
Author?
Yes, sir. Hobson.
Yes.
To Arthur when they're waiting in the waiting room.
Yep.
Read this.
There are many pictures.
I don't want to read it. He goes, there are many pictures.
Oh, man.
Does Billionaire Boogeyman have many pictures? That's what I want to know.
I think it's just the cover. I believe Todd is also an artist. He designed the cover.
So geez.
Check it out. Yeah.
So he's a comedian, an author, and an artist?
Yes. And he also is a videographer, and he makes
Wow.
Pretty talented guy.
Is he still performing stand-up?
He does, but he's not doing it like he used to back in the day. And occasionally, like he's living in, I believe, Georgia now. So if Billy Burr is down there, he'll bring in Todd to open up for him as his local.
Oh, that sounds like a safe bet. I see what Burr's doing. Bill's afraid, bringing any heavy hitters, bringing a Todd Parker. That sounds safe. Mm-hmm. Okay, Bill, we see what you're doing.
Yeah, we had Bill on the podcast, a 2-part episode. Check it out. It's in our archives. Look around wherever you listen to podcasts. Okay, let's do our
on the Patreon, folks. Check it out. patreon.com/the2dicks. All right, we got 3 games. I picked 3 games. We don't use the points. We just go for a winner. This is week, I believe, 13. I believe
sounds good.
Wow. In the
Lucky
league where they
13.
play
For pay.
We got Alfred's 6-6 New England Patriots going up against the 4-8 Arizona Cardinals. Both teams suck. Pat's 6-6. I don't buy it. I think they stink.
500, man. 500 team right now.
500, but just because you got Bill Belichick pulling some magic shit, but that team doesn't look good at all. And Mac Jones.
I'm going to go with Mac Jones. He's like every third game. I'm going with my Patriots.
I like it because I would take the Cards all day long. I think that's the Monday night game or a Sunday night game. One of the evening games for that one. Next game up, you got your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're 6-6, just like your Pats. They're going up against the San Francisco 49ers. They are 8-4.
Broken foot.
They don't have a quarterback. Their quarterback is Mr. Irrelevant, the guy who picked last in the draft.
He won that game, though, after Garoppolo broke his foot, right?
He did.
He threw a touchdown. Right?
He threw a touchdown, and they're saying they're going to stick with him until Jimmy G comes back. They have no problem with this.
Jimmy G's out for the season.
Maybe not. That's what they're saying.
Dude, broken foot. Did you see it? You saw it in slow-mo.
I saw it, but Shanahan was saying that's why they're not signing Mayfield or any of these guys. He's like, we may get them back. And they like that. They have such a good defense. I think it's kind of like that thinking. We can keep a team under 17 points. As long as this kid doesn't fumble or get intercepted too many times, we're okay. He's going to be a game manager.
Oh, it's not his plant foot. It's his back foot?
I don't know which foot it was.
That makes a difference.
But they're saying maybe not season ending. So who do you like in that game, Al? Do you like the Tampa Bay Bucks? They're 6-6 against the 8-4 49ers. And that's in San Francisco.
Under the circumstances, going to both the quarterbacks, I'm going to go with Tampa Bay.
Got to do it. I'm going to go with the 49ers on that one. Even though I think Tampa will win, but 49ers, they have their defense is great, and I can see them going after Brady and hopefully not hurting him, but Nick Bosa and those guys are going to – and the O-line for the Tampa's not great. I have a feeling old Tom's going to be on his ass a lot. So 46-year-old ass, by the way. I don't know.
He's pulled out wins, even though he got knocked down several times and sacked 5. He's come back and win.
He's the GOAT. Yeah. He's the GOAT. You got to do that when you're a GOAT. And the last game on this is an interesting game. The Jets 7-5. Hell of a year for the Jets so far. Even against your Buffalo Bills 9-3. Buffalo Bills, New York Jets. Seems easy, but.
There's holes in the Buffalo Bills, but I'm going to go with Allen. I'm going to go.
You like Josh Allen in this one.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take the New York Jets. We'll see. They got the Mike White. And the kid seems, he's got the team fired up a bit. And, isn't that amazing? They were second pick in the draft 2 years ago. They're not even letting him put on a uniform on Sunday. He can practice all week, Zach Wilson, the quarterback, but they're not dressing.
Well, his head's not there. He's short-circuited his brain.
Yep.
He's throwing ghost balls. He's throwing balls where there's no players. They go missing their assignment.
It's good to see a coach.
Or a communication problem. It's your quarterback.
Well, and what sunk him too was when they lost, and then he did the interview, and they said, "Do you feel bad for the defense having to be on the field a lot? He's like, no. And they go, you don't feel bad about the defense being out there exhausted because you guys can't get it done? He's like, no. And they're like, dude, you gotta be the quarterback, man. You ever see Manning and those guys? Everything's on them. I got to play better. It's my fault. I have to play better. You're the leader of the team. Can't say no. So anyway, he's not playing. So we'll see what happens. All right. So we got LD likes the Patriots. He likes the Buccaneers, and he likes the Buffalo Bills. Week 13 in the league where they play.
For pay.
For pay. All right, buddy.
I think
What
we're
are
out.
you doing this week? Got anything happening this week?
I'm
Work?
leaving.
Any
I'm
plugs?
leaving in the
Plugs?
morning, and I'll be performing on the Radiance of the Seas. I'll be joining the ship in New Orleans,
Ooh.
and I just got my schedule. I'm not performing until day 4.
Oh, that's
they have
nice.
me doing the 7 and 9 o'clock shows, and then I will be doing a farewell show for 20 minutes the night before. I have
So
to
no
head
late
back
night.
to Los Angeles.
All
No.
the clean
Yeah.
comedy. Okay.
Oh, and then in red letters, they said, please bring extra material because in case there's a COVID, someone comes down with COVID. That's what they said. I've never seen that before.
What do you have? An extra suitcase? You're just going to pack some extra material? What the fuck does that mean?
Yes. I'm Carrot Top. I'll be ready.
Yeah.
I'll just
You're going to expand the candle store a bit. You could milk that thing for a while, right? You have a couple.
I think it was a generic thing for magicians, jugglers.
I think it's been out, and it's been on that thing probably for a year. They just didn't.
I haven't. That's the first time I've seen it.
Wow. I like a day 4 though. I like coming on the ship and not working for 4 days. I like that.
But
It's
as
nice.
you know,
Nice.
you could think that, and
Right.
then you get on the ship and they go,
Well,
"Hey,
it's probably not-
you have 2
yeah.
shows tonight."
Yeah. Well, anything can happen on a ship, folks. So that's it. All hands on deck. We are out of here. See you next time. Peace.
Good luck in prison.
Don't forget to review us and rate us. It really helps.
The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
I'm losing my mind.
Patreon.com/The2Dicks, which is named after our web series. This is the Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
Done.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
Okay, sure.
All right. Subscribe. Mary. This was a horrible mistake.
Go to patreon.com/the2dicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money.
Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.